All right. How about those Rams? Okay, that was a very fun week one. Thank you guys for tuning back into the episode of Section 300. Appreciate all the love. It's your boy G alongside Alec here for another great discussion for all things NFL. I'm excited for all that went on last weekend and excited to talk about all of that and excited for all that come in the season as well. So that's a quick intro. While we're here real quick, just again, follow the show everywhere on IG, TikTok, Section 300. Subscribe to the show here for you guys watching on YouTube. Appreciate all the love, definitely. And let's jump into it. So, as I said, jumping right into talking about week one of the NFL, definitely what was an exciting start to the season. Very happy to have football back. Real quick on the topic, as excited as I am, my fantasy football team lost yet again, and I swear, Alec, if I get last in this league again, if I finish last in this league again, I swear, bro,
you got to throw on the MAGA hat. It's
going to be an issue. I'm not throwing no hats. There won't be no more TikTok dances. I promise you, my team better get it together. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll get back to that later. But yeah, that team, my fantasy team, was a struggle. Our team here in LA struggled a bit week one. The Rams got to a tough start versus the Bills opening night. All summer long, we've been waiting for that first game against the Bills. Excited to see how the team would fare against them. We hoped it would be at least a good performance, but they just got ran out the stadium, man. It was bad. What you thinking about that? What was it? 30? What was the score? 31-10 loss that we had against Josh Allen and the Bills last Thursday.
Yeah, it was a bit surprising, I think, for most. I think many people thought at least it was going to be a close game, and a lot of people actually kind of favored the Rams at home to start off the season. I think for the last several years, like the Super Bowl winner has won on the first game of the season.
They have or haven't?
Have. They have won. So that may have played into why some people were picking the Rams as well. But I think we thought while teams do suffer from championship hangovers, we thought that the Rams were going to come out with a bit stronger performance. We had high hopes for the new connection with Stafford and Allen Robinson. We knew Kupp would continue to do his thing, which he would.
Right.
We thought Cam Akers was going to have more of a bounce back in that first game. Yikes, if you haven't been fantasy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, all around, it was a shocking kind of display from the Rams, and the Bills showed why they're the Super Bowl favorites. So we'll get into it.
Yeah, definitely was an impressive performance. And before getting to the Bills, just want to stick with the Rams. It felt like the concerns that we tried to dismiss heading into the season were much bigger concerns than we realized. Stafford and his play, beyond just his throwing of the ball. They were concerned about his elbow and things. Just him being in sync with the receivers. Yes, Cooper Kupp did look nice, but people talked about how he didn't throw Allen Robinson the ball damn near at all. I think he threw it to him once.
We saw racism on display at Thursday.
Yeah. I didn't want to go to that joke like that to that extent, but it was interesting that Higbee and Kupp got all the targets, and Skoranek got all the targets, and we didn't see much about Allen Robinson.
No, Matt Stafford, you're under surveillance after that one.
Under surveillance, I'll say that. I will say that. So yeah, definitely was an interesting thing. OBJ was in the building for that game, which was interesting because he wasn't on the field, but his presence definitely was missed. Seeing how the offense was struggled to really move against this Bills team was very eye-opening for a team that we hoped will continue to roll after their great performance last season. So definitely concerned there in the passing game, and then in the running game, Cam Akers didn't to point out the concern. Cam Akers did not do a whole lot at all either. I guess he may have rubbed coach the wrong way because he didn't get a whole lot of touches just to begin with. And then when he got the ball, he didn't do much with it either. He didn't get any yards, I don't believe, 3 carries for no
0
yards. So
yeah.
he did nothing.
It was a tough showing.
Yeah, it definitely was a tough showing. There, I believe, where talks about issues that they had about him fumbling the ball, and I guess still injury concerns he may have had, or things of that nature. So Darrell Henderson got
I
all
think
the
some of his play, like when he doesn't have the ball as well. Like I think Sean McVay was talking about him, like in the blocking aspect of the game too, like wanting him to step up a bit more there or have a sense of urgency. I think he said something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, have to show it on every down. You got to show your best. So he's a guy that's not playing his best foot for you all times. Then so be it. But it definitely was shocking for us to see in that first game when we hoped that we would have more production from him. So definitely surprising on that side. And then real quick on the defensive side as well, people raved about Bobby Wagner being on the defensive side. We thought we would still see some. At least people still call Jalen Ramsey elite, whether you agree with that still or not. He didn't show that this game at all. He was getting burnt left and right. It seemed like it wasn't the best performances. And Aaron Donald, while he was good, he was neutralized enough, of course, to move around him and operate as the Bills did. So what do you think about the defensive side for the Rams there? Okay, sorry for the quick pod cut right there. A little technical difficulty. I got some things going on in the house that may be interfering with the connections and all of that, but we're going to work through it today and get it done. Hopefully going forward, we'll be back running smooth. But yeah, just wanted to ask you again, Alec, what did you think about the defensive performance that we saw from the Rams last week?
Yeah, I thought on the whole, the Rams defense wasn't bad. They had a couple bad lapses. Like obviously the play that everyone was talking about where Jalen Ramsey got burnt because he thought he had coverage over the top and he quickly realized he didn't once Stephon Diggs ran right past him. I say real quick, there's a lot of times that happens in games, and fans are quick to say guys get burnt. So yes, that's the case. And I just want to highlight that we got to stop being so fast to say that guys are now washed in trash every time that we see something that's more of a coverage issue than the guy being burnt or wherever it is. So we will talk about Jalen Ramsey more this episode.
Just in that instance, I wanted to point that out. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I think that isolated play wasn't 100% on him. Like
correct.
But there were several other plays where Stephon Diggs was kind of owning him in that matchup against the Bills. But I think on the whole, like Aaron Donald was still creating pressure, but Josh Allen was just getting the ball out quick. And that's what you got to do against that pass rush. So I think a lot of the overreactions are coming from this week because of how bad, quote unquote, it looked against the Bills, but the Bills are the Super Bowl favorites, like we said. So like this is one of the best, if not the best teams in the league. So if you're not 100% on your game and you're still working out the kinks, like it's not going to look pretty against a team that's already humming.
Right. So, not going to look good at all.
Yeah, the defense, I think they're going to have a bit of a get-right game against Atlanta this coming week as well, too. So
I believe so, too.
They'll have time to correct themselves. But I did want to go back to the offense, too, if you're okay with that.
Please.
Sure. Yeah, I think Matt Stafford, I joked about the racism as far as Allen Robinson not getting the targets. That was the main thing because it was like he was getting open on – I saw a clip that showed like all 65 of the routes he ran or whatever. A lot of the times when he was getting open, it was like a little bit too late for Stafford to get it to him because the offensive line was sorry like in that game against the Bills. He was getting like 2 seconds, like maybe 3 to get the ball off, and they were in the backfield. Yeah, go for it.
Andrew Whitworth was in the building again as well. He was there, but on the sideline reporting, he moved on. But he's another guy that we missed. So definitely could miss some of the guys from last year. And it's going to take a minute for these new guys to adjust. So that line is going to take some time to get them in sync and make sure we have Matt as protected as possible.
Yeah. And so, like I won't 100% blame Matthew Stafford. I think the offensive line has to work out the kinks for sure. But there were times indeed where he did have tunnel vision and A-Rob was wide open and he had tunnel vision for Cooper Kupp. And like, we get it. Like Cooper Kupp just won the Triple Crown. He's arguably the best receiver in football.
And he's still nice.
And he still put up in this week, but you still got to look for other guys who can make plays downfield, especially the guy you just acquired and is rumored to have good chemistry already in camp and has the potential to have a top 20 wide receiver season. Like you want to get that guy involved early So It was a little bit shocking to see the lack of targets. Like if he just like didn't get the receptions, that'd be different. But to only get 2 targets seems a little bit slim for your really touted acquisition. So
absolutely. So yeah, definitely hoping for a good bounce back next week. They have a great opportunity to do so, as you said, against the Falcons, who are a team that's still young and figuring it out. They're rebuilding right now, so they're rebuilding mode, and we are trying to stay at the top. So yeah, well, I hope that we bounce back. We'll get to our quick picks shortly, but want to go to the other side of LA and talk about the Chargers, or not the other side. They're on the same building at this point.
Yeah,
talking about the Chargers and their performance. They held off the Raiders in that first division matchup. Definitely was a fun game between the two of them. The Raiders look like they have good potential there. Derek and Devontae definitely is a good pairing. But they say it again.
They already have the chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry clearly was on display. Devontae went for like 10 receptions and a touchdown, 140 some yards, whatever that was. So definitely put on a great display there. But yeah, they couldn't do quite enough to get past Justin Herbert and those boys for the Chargers. So definitely a good performance there. Did you catch that one as well? And if you did, what did you think?
Really only caught highlights of that game. I didn't watch that one in full. Just because, that was opening Sunday, so I had Red Zone going. So I was seeing highlights from most of the different games.
Yep.
But I mean, from what I did see, Herbert looked good, as we expected. It wasn't exceptional, but he looked good. I thought it was kind of surprising, Austin Eckler. I think he had less than 3 yards to carry. They did give him touches, but he wasn't able to get it going on the ground.
Right.
Keenan Allen, who again seems to be on and off the injury report now. Now he's potentially going to miss week 2. Didn't really get it going week 1. But I think a story with Herbert is that he spread it around a lot. There wasn't one guy that he was trying to feed, a la Matt Stafford Cup. A lot of guys, when I looked at the target share after the game, a lot of guys had 4 targets, all around, including Mike Williams, who we talked about last week. That's the guy that is kind of boom or bust week to week.
Yep.
And it was a bust to start off. But they were able to pull this one out, and I think large credit for that is due to the defense. I think the defense is legit with the acquisitions in the offseason.
Definitely.
And I think they're going to continue to do so.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I will also say that I think not an overreaction, but my pick about the Chiefs being over the Chargers is off to a good start in that.
And they play each other this week, so
in that division. So definitely a good one there. And then as you said, they play each other this week, so it's another good test for the both of them. I mean, we'll see more of who's the truth there. There's a lot of talk. People are already honest about not mentioning Patrick Mahomes in the MVP race. He's definitely in the race and put up a great performance as well. And Herbert is going to have to continue to do the same thing for the Chargers, just keep up with them, because they both.
You think we're going to not support a black quarterback? Come on.
Yeah, all right, come on now. We know what it is. Put that out. But very excited for this upcoming week, and let's kind of just do a quick, more in-depth look at that matchup. How do you think that game is going to go between the Chargers and the Chiefs before we do just a quick pick version of it all?
I'm kind of still deciding, a little bit indecisive on this one, because like we said, we think they're going to be the two teams kind of duking it out for the winner of this AFC West division. Love both quarterbacks. Mahomes showed why he is Mahomes. 5 touchdowns, 350 yards first week.
Yeah,
I don't even think he really played the fourth quarter. He could have added more to that total.
Definitely could have went for more for that.
Yeah, they were just blowing out the Cardinals.
Yeah, them Cardinals just waste of time.
I picked them to win, so that's all my face. But yeah, and Mahomes, like Herbert, was spreading it around. Kelsey obviously got the most of the targets, as he should, but he spread it around nicely to everybody, and everybody was eating. But I think while he will be productive, Mahomes, I think it won't be as easy as it was to navigate against the Cardinals, against the Chargers.
No, not.
So that's why I'm a little bit indecisive here, because I think I give the Chargers a defensive edge. I give the Chiefs slight offensive edge. So it probably comes down to the wire. I'd probably pick the Chiefs because I favor Mahomes, Andy Reid, Kelsey in a close game. So I'll probably go Chiefs, but wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers pull this one out. I think they split up the season. So
yeah, I was hoping you go otherwise we have some disagreement there, but I'm going Chiefs also. As I said, I believe the Chiefs win this division, and they got to win games like this to stay ahead in that race. So I think they show out, and Mahomes and their offense does that. Again, it makes my MVP pick look kind of weird because I did have Herbert find a way to get it done. But I think this Chiefs team, at least week 2 or early on this season, will make their presence felt in this game. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with them in that, and we'll circle back to that when we get to our quick picks. But now we talk about our 2 LA squads, and before we jump into our next segment, real quick, I got the jersey on. Another LA squad to talk about, the Dodgers clinched the division, I believe, yesterday, and definitely a major feat. Want to salute to them. What do you think about their success that they've been having?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing exactly what they should be doing. I think post All-Star break, they're like 53-15. Like they've just been on a tear since the All-Star break. Didn't really make huge acquisitions at the deadline, which people thought they might go after Soto or they might go after Luis Castillo in a starting pitcher, but they didn't really make those big splash moves, but have continued to mow teams down religiously and secured the division very early. They're like 20 games up on the next place team, which
I was gonna say, because I lost a little bit of track of them. So when I saw people saying that, I'm like, oh, they're talking about last year, like what happened? And they're like, no, they right now, like they just did it. I'm like, that feels early, but that's how they're rolling. So definitely love to see that.
Yeah, and they're primed for a World Series run. Managing guys' health right now is going to be the key. We need to get Gonsolin back. He's been on the IL. We got Kershaw back about 3 weeks ago, and he's been giving us solid outings. He actually was the pitcher last night when we won the game to clinch. So managing guys' health, I think, and keeping guys in a good rhythm, it's going to be a lot on Dave Roberts' shoulders, of course, to manage that lineup because we got a lot of guys who can play and guys who are getting hot at the right time. So, yeah, I think they're primed for a World Series run. They're in all the power rankings you get from all the different media outlets. The Dodgers are number 1 consistent, and as they should be. So it's about living up to expectations and finishing the job. Yeah.
Absolutely. So looking forward to that. Definitely excited to see their playoff push this October, and it's going to be a good one. So much success to them, and again, much success we hoping for LA squads here. In regards to the Rams and the Chargers there.
You can shut up all the fans that said they got the bubble ring kind of thing, like the season. It would be nice to get a full 162 and get the World Series.
Nothing you can say after that one, so I hope they get it. So there'll be fun things there. Now going back to the NFL. Again, before we jump into week 2, we actually have a new segment we want to debut for you guys. So Alec made a quick joke about last week that we're turning into an official thing. The Hymn Zone is now in the new segment we're going to have for the show. Definitely excited to do that. We have Alec who's going to go through and give an award for the guy that had the best performance of the week. We'll have a few nominations, guys across the league that had good outings. Then we'll have one official guy that was him of the week. Excited to give that out. Now, I'll also come in and add some other hyperboles, some things I saw on and off the field for us to talk about as well. So, yeah, Alec, let's jump into week 1. Who you have nominated for your first hymn of the week?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, we kind of fell backwards into this segment, me talking about Josh Allen, kind of entering the hymn zone. And he's one of the first names that I got on here. Josh Allen, we talked about how the Bills beat down our Rams in week 1 on that Thursday night game. 26 of 31 passing, so 84% completion percentage, 297, 3 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, 10 carries for 56 yards. He did it all. He was carving them up. It was elementary. Like the first
it really was.
First drive of the game, they just went down, easy touchdown. I think when I turned the game on, it was when he threw that wide open touchdown to Gabe Davis. Man, super easy,
ridiculous.
And yeah, they made it look like child's play out there a little bit. The Rams were able to force a couple turnovers from him. He threw 2 picks. One wasn't his fault; it was off McKenzie's hands, and another one he kind of tried to fit into a tight window. They got picked off. It was a nice play by the Rams DB. So, but yeah, Josh Allen looked like he was ready to confirm the allegations that he is him. And he balled out. It looks like he's on trajectory for that MVP award, as people believe. So, yeah.
He's your top pick. Who else did you have for nominations?
Yeah, so I got Patrick Mahomes. I've been a Mahomes guy for years. I had him winning that Super Bowl against Brady. Obviously,
yeah, I remember that.
I'm still on the Mahomes train, and as we mentioned against the Cardinals, he started off with a bang: 30 for 39, 77% completion percentage, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns. Spread the ball around to everybody. Everybody got to feast.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he made it look easy as well, too, against this Cardinals defense. And he definitely is one of those guys that is one of one. That's how I look at the phrase, him is you got to be kind of a one of one type player. So
yeah,
Holmes definitely was that and is that. At the wide receiver position, Justin Jefferson, they would talk about him all offseason is that he's offensive player of the year. And what did he do? He went out, got 2 touchdowns, looked unstoppable against Green Bay, who's supposed to have a good secondary. He's supposed to have a good defense.
We both picked the Packers to win that game. You said about multiple touchdowns.
By 2 scores. Yeah. Man, he just went out and had a field day. 9 catches, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers said to him after the game he was the best player on the field. No doubt about that. It's looking like teams are going to struggle to contain him. So he's definitely in that him zone for sure. And then lastly, I got on here a guy that you threw a quick mention to him last episode. It was a great pick, man. Saquon, maybe the most impressive of these 4 to me. We'll get to my MVP in a couple minutes, but
yeah,
he looked. I saw a video. I believe it was from Theo Ash from the Stay Hot Pod, where he broke down like why it was such an impressive day for him, and he was extremely explosive. And that was that explosion we've missed from Saquon after having these different lower body injuries.
Absolutely.
We've always talked about the quads, how he's the quad player. He's built like that for sure, but he's kind of had a rough go at it with the injuries in the past couple seasons. But he looks like Saquon from Penn State, where he was just running all over teams.
Mm-hmm.
He was hitting holes like before they opened up, like he was anticipating it and just hitting it like with conviction. Don't even try. Don't even try. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my God. You couldn't let me get through this. Oh my God.
I didn't even say anything.
You started laughing. Anyways, as I said, he was hitting holes with conviction. He was anticipating where the hole was going to be, and he was hitting it. The acceleration was crazy. He was driving through defenders like at the end of his runs. Like he just looked. He looked 100%, and he looked great, and he looked like you said, a guy that could potentially lead the league in rushing yards at the end of the season. If this trend continues, because he looked very spry. So I was happy to see it for Saquon.
Same here.
I'm not a fan by any stretch, but love to see guys. That's kind of a comeback player. I guess he could be in that zone as well too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was great. He was great.
Real quick, because you said it. I was locked in as a Ravens fan early on, but I almost got switched over when the Giants kept beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I was like, you guys are pulling me a little bit. I like what you guys are doing over there. Yeah, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Ruining Tom Brady's legacy. So they were my second team for half a second because of them beating up on the Patriots. And yeah, to see that they're finally training around, potentially get again with Saquon leading them back there, definitely is great to see. So yeah, I'm glad he's training around.
Yeah, but for his stats, 18 carries, 164 yards, a touchdown, 6 catches, 70 yards. He was eating all over the place, and that was not a game we expected the Giants to win against the Titans. They clutched it out, so great start for them. And then I had some honorable mentions. Largely, it's all wide receivers, actually. There's plenty of guys that also had 120 yards at least and a touchdown. So they could be on this list as well. I just kind of wanted to keep it to one per position for the most part.
Understood.
But Cooper Kupp, we talked about, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Michael Pittman. While Matt Ryan is, I'm kind of shaky on him, but Michael Pittman still showed out. A.J. Brown went crazy. I think he had 150 yards. Michael Thomas.
Eagle squad, man.
Michael Thomas didn't have the yardage, but he had 2 touchdowns on the day. And
great to see him.
for a comeback win against the Falcons, which is another story. You probably shouldn't need to come back against that Falcons team.
Yeah. Good to see him back healthy, though, doing that. So, yeah, I like all those picks. Those are all great. So those are all actually nominations for you that you just listed, starting with Josh Allen, Mahomes, Jefferson, and Barkley, and then the rest you just said. Yep. So who was your official MVP of the week?
Yeah, I think it would come down to Saquon and JJ, but I think it's got to be Jettas. I think it's got to be Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson, got it. Okay.
He came out with conviction and showed people why he believes that he is the best wide receiver in the league. I think he had the best day out of anybody. So, yeah.
Got you. I'm fine with that one. I might say, just so the fans don't get mad at us, I'll say Josh Allen, because that was an impressive performance against our Rams. He definitely balled out against us and looked like he was one of one. Looked like him all game long. So I'll pick him for that week. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely a fun thing there. I'm excited to see who gets nominated for this throughout the rest of the season as well. So definitely fun thing in that regard. Now moving on to some other just fun things I wanted to add in there as well. So I have more hyperbole type stuff. More stuff you can watch throughout the week, throughout the games and pick on. So mine actually, I have best pregame fit for those that follow me on IG. I'm getting a little bit into fashion, a little bit trying some things out just for the fun of it and all that type of stuff. And as I've joked about here a few times now, I notice guys' outfits on the sidelines and all that kind of stuff too. So best pregame fit.
Who brought out the mink coat this week?
Yeah, no mink coat this week. Not yet. It ain't cold enough out here for that. But hey, maybe on my Kanye stuff, I'll still put it on. We'll see. But anyways, best pregame fits. A couple that stood out to me. Love Jamal Adams, all black, all leather fit going in. Getting ready for the Broncos this last week on Monday. Had a little gold trim along the side of the pants. Also, that was real nice and slick. They came out and had a great performance to match with it. He actually went out early, and I hope for the best for him going forward. But yeah, he always seems to put on heading the games and had a good outfit there. And then another one I wanted to point out real quick. Where'd it go? Oh, Grant Delpit had a nice one as well. Had a nice white button up. He played he's a safety for the Browns. Defensive guys tend to show a little bit more. Surprisingly, I've noticed heading into games and things, they gotta get their swagger on before games on and all that. And they definitely had some nice stuff this week. So yeah, had a white button up on with some nice jeans there. I had crazy design on there that I thought was cool with a nice tote bag on the side as well. And chains, the NFL guys got all their chains and stuff on. I got mine. Shout out to 222 Charms. They got like the beads on and all that. But my Taurus don't come for me for being a tourist and all that. But yeah, they had his chains on and all that. It was just a real nice fit as they went in on Sunday. So that was a cool little thing I wanted to point out real quick for the best pregame fits. Then moving on as well, best tee celebrations. As you guys know, guys would love to celebrate these days and dance and have all kinds of fun in the end zone. Two are ones we've already seen from last year that continued this year. Justin Jefferson, Jetta, had his gritty a couple times in the end zone against the Packers. That's another one that I just wanted to point out, as I'm sure he's going to be doing plenty more of that the rest of the season. In the same kind of way, what's Jalen Waddle almost calling Justin?
The Waddle,
yeah. Waddle doing this Waddle, the whole team doing that. That was real dope. I wanted to do that. I'm sure we're going to see a whole lot more of that going on through the season as well. So those are definitely two that I enjoyed seeing this week. Then the third one, it was hard to admit because it came against my team, but it was a great moment actually. And DJ Reed, a corner for the Jets, caught a pick at the end of the game and went and celebrated on the logo in the middle of the field towards the end of the game. Went up, put his hands up in celebration, just really taking in the moment. People didn't really understand it at the time, but he wanted to say that he was just full of emotion because his father had passed away before the game. So it was a great moment for him. It was a very powerful celebration. Glad that he got that moment at least in the midst of that tough situation. And I wanted to point that out as well. So GJ Reed, I will say if there's a number one pick, I guess, as you did your MVP, number one pick for T celebrations, GJ Reed's pick there was definitely another good one. And then lastly, as people have gotten more intricate with their offenses and have all kinds of trick plays and things, I want to pick a trick play or in the same kind of lane, just an extended play. Guys breaking free and finding ways to make a touchdown out of nothing. I wanted to point out something there as well. And 4 plays that stood out to me. One was a trick play Our guy Pat Mahomes loves doing the shovel pass. Had a nice shovel pass to Clyde Edwards-Helaire during that routing they had of the Cardinals. Definitely was a nice play. I love how they shift guys around in that offense and find new ways to highlight their guys, and that's a great way that they did it. Also, Geno, more of an extended play. We saw on Monday night Geno Smith going off against the Broncos and Russell Wilson. He had the first touchdown that they had was an extended play that he did where he kind of broke free from a guy that was coming up straight down the middle at him. He broke through a tackle, ducked under him, broke free, and then threw a nice little dump down to Will Dissly, who broke free and scored a touchdown. So definitely was an amazing one. And then lastly, Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears had a nice play. Justin, I believe, rolled out after breaking, trying to scramble around the backfield to make something happen, and found Dante Pettis down the sideline for a nice long touchdown. So those were three plays that really stood out to me. Really enjoyed seeing those guys make something out of nothing. And yeah, definitely something I can continue to look for the rest of the season. So those are a few hyperboles I'm looking for throughout the year. Definitely may add some more in as we go forward. And yeah, excited to see what more to come from guys across the league.
Real quick, I did have guys on the flip side who are not him. If you want
him also. Oh Lord, go ahead.
So first off, I said we were going to get back to this man, Jalen Ramsey. That washed allegations, as you said, are starting to creep up. It goes back to last year's Super Bowl. Actually, it goes back to last year's NFC Championship game where he got hurt for a late touchdown. I think it was Mike Evans, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And the
no, that was like Scotty Miller. I think the very last one, last touchdown. Yeah. I think that was Scotty somehow that got past him.
When the Buccaneers made that comeback on the Rams.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Scotty.
Okay, even worse. But
yeah,
he got burnt in that game. He got burnt by, I believe, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in the Super Bowl. Which that happens to a lot of guys, but it's starting to become a trend a little bit for a guy that really didn't get big plays on him for much of his career. And then now we got, I guess, two more, you could say, with the long Gabe Davis touchdown and then Stephon Diggs one where he thought it was a different coverage. So not him. He's entering that not him anymore as far as being that lockdown DB. And then I got Joe Burrow on here. He's my guy for sure, but five turnovers in week 1, 4 picks, and a fumble.
I saw actually that you had him on there. The only reason I barely shoot him some bail is because the team almost won still at the end. They blew it at the end too, so that's why he's definitely on here. But the team finding a way to almost save him. Almost got him off the list, but no, he's on there too. He's on there too. Yeah,
I mean, because even one less pick, you maybe win that game without having to rely on McPherson to kick it.
So.
CeeDee Lamb, while I think he is a pretty elite talent, 2 catches on 11 targets, it isn't pretty. And he's losing Dak Prescott for a couple weeks now. So it's tough sledding for the Cowboys in general, but especially for CD. I think Cooper Rush is going to be the one stepping up at QB. So it's tough. It's rough days ahead.
Real quick, too. It's nasty that they're going to try to rush him back, too. At first, it was like, it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. And then Jerry Jones said, it's going to be 4. He'll be back next week. He's going to figure it out.
He said, we finally gave you that bag. You going to come back and play these games.
It's real nasty. So I hope for the best for Dak with them Cowboys, man. It's a tough spot.
Rough. And then 2 more. I have Dameon Pierce on here. I don't want to hate on him too much. He's a rookie. He's a rookie.
It's understood, though, because I said Rick Burkhead wasn't going to take no touches. He took the touches from him.
He took most of the touches.
Made it look real rough back there. So, he deserves to have some kind of acknowledgement there.
He was shooting up the draft boards in fantasy. I think he had 11 carries for 33 yards. That's not going to do it for me if you picked him top 6 round or something like that. So I'm not. He's got a chance to prove that he is him for sure. But
plenty of room still, but it was just a tough first week.
And then David Montgomery, we talked about him briefly last week, but 17 carries for 26 yards, but less than 2 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I don't know, fam. I know that 49ers defense is supposed to be good, but
I'll say this. One kind of to the thing that I said would save Joe Burrow. The Bears did win that game still, so that kind of saves him, I guess. If anything, but also it was a rain game they were playing, and damn near it was bad out there. So guys were all sliding around, so it could be tough passing and running to figure out anything.
Sure.
So yeah, I guess I'll show him a little bit of bell in that regard. But yeah, 17 carries for wherever 20 or 30
yards,
yards isn't the best outing. So I get why he's on there, but there is some better shot.
And too, it looks like they kind of want to move the running back position a little bit more, like some of the carries more to Khalil Herbert, who had a decent showing as well. So
he had better footing in the rain last week, so that probably played its part. But I can see that they definitely have a dual back situation there with the both of them. So that knocks out my ground player of the year for him there. So well. But I'm not too mad about him being on the list.
Yeah, rough sledding for those 5 players this week. This week you were not him, not even close.
Yeah. I'll nominate one because I hoped, just as a former fan of his, that he would have at least somewhat of a better outing. Joe Flacco did not look good against my Ravens at all. Jesus, man.
Give him the not elite tag, because that's all.
Yeah, I was hoping he would keep it close just to have a nice moment. Kind of like how the Seahawks get a point against the Russ and the old squad, whatever.
A couple guys with those narratives did not hit. Baker Mayfield too.
Yeah, the narratives weren't working. They did not hit. So yeah, Joe, sadly I had to shine a light on that, because the Jets did not look good against my Ravens last week. So yeah, Joe is my not him of the week in that regard. So yeah, definitely a fun thing that I'm looking forward to keep up with going forward.
Separate section for like retire him.
Oh, Jesus, I don't want to go that far, but I understand. But yeah, okay. That is now the end of all the week 1 discussion. Now we're gonna go on to week 2. Do our quick picks as we did last week. It did not go as good as we thought it would. Alec, you went, what was that, 6-8-1 or 6-9-1? I went 7-8-1. Had one pick opposite of you. That was able to save me and get me ahead in the count for last week. Now we're gonna try to right our wrongs a little bit. Get at least above 500 to start. We're gonna weigh you up, getting better at these predictions, and we'll see how we do. So excited for this, and let's jump into it. So week 2 quick picks. Thursday, Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs at 4 points. What you got?
Yeah, we discussed this one already. I guess we both slightly lean Chiefs, but it's going to be a good game.
Yep, I got Chiefs too. So now going on to Sunday, Panthers at Giants. Giants at 2 points.
Interesting, especially after that display from New York. Baker is not him. We knew that already. I think I'll go Giants, actually.
I'm with you there, too. I'm taking Kenny Galladay and the Giants.
Kenny Galladay. Did he even get a catch this week?
I don't know, but it's just fun mentioning his name now. Oh, well. Moving on, Bucks at Saints. Bucks at 2.5 points.
Conventional wisdom kind of tells me Bucks, but I'll take the Saints in this one.
Damn, stop taking my picks. I got Saints too. Jesus.
Brady fits at least one game, so yeah.
Next, Dolphins at Ravens. Ravens at 3.5.
I gotta go with Ravens. That's my 13-4 agenda. So.
Yeah, we're in agreement again. Jets at Browns. Browns at 6.5.
Browns.
Yeah, Browns. Washington at Lions. Lions at 1.5.
This is a good game. This one's more competitive. I could see going either way. Carson Wentz was surprising last week.
It was.
Touchdowns.
Carson versus Jared. This was a great match a couple years ago.
Yeah. I mean, they're both like good quarterbacks. They're not great. They're not terrible. Just like decent, solid.
Yep.
Middle of the road. The Lions, man. I don't want them to repeat the same thing as last year where they just lose every game by 3 points, but I'll pick the Lions again. I'll pick the Lions.
I wanted to go with Goff because Goff's my guy, low key.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Commanders though. We gotta start switching it up so we have some different picks. I'll take Carson over there. Seahawks at Niners. Niners at 9.5 points, even after last week.
Seahawks at Niners. Trey Lance didn't really prove anything. We did say the weather affected that game a lot, though. I'll go the Niners.
I'm taking Geno. In Geno we trust. I'm taking the points. I'm going to roll with Geno. They're roll off.
Hey, they wrote him off, and he didn't write back. So.
Yeah. Even still, it was a close game between the Broncos. Like, they didn't just beat down on them. They barely got by. But I think the Seahawks and Geno can get in this situation, kind of like how the Bears found a way to get them beat, even though it was a rain situation, weird and all of that. I think the Seahawks can find a way in this matchup to steal this victory. So I'm going to go Seahawks in that, and we'll see how that goes.
Not so confident.
Colts at Jaguars. Colts at 4 points.
I think this was another close game. They tied with the Texans last week. I guess give me the Colts. I don't feel great about it, though.
I'll take Jaguars then. At home, I'll take Jaguars.
With that.
Pats at Steelers. Pats with 2 points.
Give me the Steelers. The defense looked really good against Cincinnati. And the offense for the Patriots did not look good at all against the Dolphins. Give me the Steelers.
I'll stick with the MVP. I'll stick with Mr. Trubisky and roll the Steelers there too. Did we just see it? Oh, I did it twice. Okay. Falcons at Rams. Rams at 10.5 points.
Oh, I know we said Broncos beat down and it didn't happen, but give me a Rams beat down. I think they have a get-right game. Yeah.
I think the Falcons keep it under 10.5, but the Rams win.
2 to 3 score game.
I hope you're right, but I'm gonna say Falcons keep it close, but still Rams though.
They need something to prove.
Yeah,
I already know Stafford's gonna throw one of those interceptions where he tries to force feed Allen Robinson this time.
I don't want to think about it yet. Not even gonna think about it. Moving on. Cardinals at Raiders. Raiders at 5.5.
Cardinals at Raiders, you said?
Yes.
Raiders. That's interesting. That's another close game.
I'll go real quick. I got Raiders. I'm not the Cardinals. Like, I just don't believe in them. I'm sorry. They're not gonna go defeated. They're not gonna lose every game, but 9 out of 10, I'm picking the other team. So I'm going with
I'm going Raiders too.
Yeah, Raiders got that one. Here may be the real beatdown. Bengals at Cowboys. Bengals at 7.5.
Yeah, it's gonna look ugly for Dallas in this one. Yeah,
that's with the 10.5 spread right there. I don't know why it's so close for them without Dak, but whatever.
I guess just because of how they played Week 1, because it wasn't impressive at all.
Yeah,
I guess Dallas does still have a good defense. Like, they're very boom or bust, like how Trayvon Diggs plays the ball. He's ball hawked and that kind of thing. But they have difference makers. Like on
got
that
you.
ball,
Got you. Okay, I'll give you that, but still the Bengals.
Yeah, I agree. Still the Bengals. I think they're just gonna tear up Cooper Rush. So.
I think I'm reading this right. Texans at Broncos. Broncos at 10 points.
Texans at 10 points, Brad?
I think I'm reading that right. Yeah.
Let me see. Texans at Broncos. Interesting. I mean, I kind of say the Broncos. Give me the Broncos.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't know. Something was off about that, but I'll take the Broncos. Another one that's a couple more big spreads here.
I don't like the Broncos against the spread. Like, maybe the Texans, but yeah, Broncos win.
A couple more with big spreads. I'm going off of FanDuel is what it says. There's that Packers. They got the Packers at 10 points.
Yeah. That was one of those things, like, we're not doing the overreaction segment, but that was one of those things, like, I'm not sure whether or not it's like the beginning of the end for the Packers' dominance or whether that was more of a fluke.
Same thing happened last year with them.
Yeah, because I didn't realize when I made my pick that they'd win by 2-3 scores as well. I didn't realize that his right and left tackle were both going to be out too. So, like, both his starting offensive tackles were out, which I think plays a huge part. Mm-hmm. I think the Packers do win this game. I don't know if it's – you said the spread's 10 points?
10 points.
I don't know. I think they are a significantly better team, to be honest. Like, we said David Montgomery is not him. We lost Allen Robinson. So it's Darnell Mooney is pretty much like the guy over there. Yeah, no, I like that spread. I like that spread. I'm gonna go with the Packers. Yeah.
Primetime games, sometimes things can get wonky and anything is possible. I'm going with the Bears. I think Justin Fields and the Bears. I had very low expectations for them, but I figured out week 1. I think they can figure it out again against this Packers squad that's also figuring it out on the opposite side too. So
Rodgers, this will be the time
on that one.
This would be the time for them to do it for sure. But
I could be completely wrong, or I look like a genius. So I'm taking a chance. I'm going with the Bears on that one. And then there's actually 2 games this week on Monday night. Yeah. Titans at Bills. They had the Bills at 10 points. You got the Bills with the 10 points right there?
I think so. Derrick Henry didn't have quite the game I expected him to. But I think he has more of a Derrick Henry-esque game against the Bills, while they do have a solid defense. The Bills, they look like the Super Bowl favorites right now. Like, they look like the best team in the league last week. So I understand the 10-point spread. I think it's a fair spread, and I think the Bills do win pretty handedly. I didn't love Tannehill in the passing game week 1. Robert Woods, supposed to be their number 1 wide receiver. I think he only had a couple targets, 1 catch maybe.
Nothing.
A couple younger wide receivers were decent for them, but it's a lot on Derrick Henry's shoulders, like we were saying. Like, he's gonna have to be Offensive Player of the Year type season for him. So Bills. I like them in that 10-point spread.
Yeah, I think I should take that with you. So that'll be a fun. We'll see if they can stick to that, which they're capable of, but anything's possible on Monday nights. And then speaking of Monday nights, I don't think Kirk Cousins ever wins on Monday nights from what I remember, or doesn't play good in prime time,
Monday night games,
something like that. And again, he's going up against a real good squad in Philadelphia. Vikings at Eagles. Eagles at 2 points. Who you got?
Yeah, that's a toss-up. 2 points makes sense. That's a toss-up. I feel like I kind of have an anti-Vikings agenda because I have the Packers winning that division. So let me go with the Eagles.
Damn, I wanted to go Eagles too. I'll stick with you. Yeah, I'm going Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts in that offense a whole lot. So I think even with as good as Justin Jefferson looked last week, they can continue doing their thing. That the Eagles actually shut it down just enough actually to get the victory there. At home as well. Yeah, I think this is a good performance for them. Great test for both teams, and the Eagles find a way to get the win at the end. So, yeah, good stuff across the board there. Let us know you guys' picks in the comments and all that. We'll be sure to share it everywhere for you guys before all the games get started. And, yeah, definitely good stuff across the board. And with that, we don't really have anything else to deep dive. Anything else you want to talk about real quick?
We didn't really talk too much about the Ravens.
Sure. Yeah. There wasn't much for me to talk about this week, to be honest with you. The Ravens, as I said, they ran the Jets out of their own building last week. With a great performance.
That one I was right about. I told you 3-4 scores.
Yeah. Like I said, I tried to believe otherwise. I respect for my former QB, but it was just as you said. If anything, I'm happy that Lamar is clicking with the receivers already. I'm glad to see Bateman get a touchdown. It took him forever to get a touchdown last season. We were waiting, is he ever going to get one? And he finally got one last year. And now first game got another one. So glad to see that connection going well. I'm glad to see Duvernay got his touches as well. I believe he could be a great second receiver there for them. So got 2 of them, as you said. So happy to see that. So that was really my biggest concern. Defense looked good most of the way through. Things kind of eased up at the very end. They had 3 points for most of it, and they found a way at the end to get one. So it's what it is. But yeah, happy to see that. And then if anything else, the running back play was decent. They spread it out between a few guys. They had Mike Davis and Kenyon Drake and a couple guys back there figuring it out. They said J.K. Dobbins might be back this week. He's questionable this week after a very strenuous offseason of trying to get him things back. I saw the clip this week where he talked about how he had everything separated. It was his ACL, MCL, hamstring, all of it was jacked up. For him to even be available is a feat. And hopefully he can give some kind of contribution back there. But yeah, I think we're excited for this week too. Go ahead.
I'll say real quick on Dobbins. I was just gonna ask, do you feel like there's really a need to rush him back? Like you said, I feel like they should wait on him a bit.
I think they've already been taking a patient approach with him. And if he's pushing for it himself to get back, I would ease him into it, let him suit up, let him get 5 carries, something like that. But I'm not forcing him back into a full workload. No, I'm not doing that. But I will get him back on the field if he wants to push in and try to do that. So, yes or no. I'll push, but I'm not pushing too far.
Yeah, because just the severity of his injuries, like I'd want him to get back to close to 100%. Like in camp, he didn't look great. Like we saw the clips of him doing drills and then like limping off the field afterwards.
Yep.
I'd want him to feel like 100%, not have to like rush back because there's really no need either to like play the Jets. You're playing the Dolphins next. Like it's not like a must that you have Dobbins on the field for those games. He's obviously a plus. He's immediately the best running back on the field when you join him again. But I think, as you said, like you'll be able to make do with Kenyon Drake, Mike Davis, Gus Edwards if he's back soon too. Until Dobbins gets back.
And we saw last year before everyone else got hurt, it was just the running backs that get hurt. We can figure out running backs. But once everybody else falls,
Lamar too.
So it's a bigger issue if everybody else is hurt too, of course. Yeah. But if it's just a running back, we can find a committee of guys to put out there in the interim before he gets back fully healthy. So, like I said, Mike Davis or whoever, we can throw it back there and make it work with Lamar, of course, as you pointed out. So, yeah, I'm in the rush for JK and hope he gets back fully and can contribute when we need him. So, yeah. Not much really to say beyond that about the Ravens right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is it for us this week, I believe. Anything else across the league you want to say?
No, I don't think so. I think we got to it.
All right. So, yeah, that is it this week for our discussion for the pod. We had our week 1 reaction. We introduced the Hymn Zone to you guys. Hope you guys like that. Let us know what you guys think and who you guys' picks are for that going forward and what other hyperboles. I have some others I'm already thinking of, but if you have your own ideas, we'll definitely add those in the mix too. Definitely looking forward to all of that going forward. And, yeah, looking forward to how week 2 plays out. Definitely going to be a fun one, and we'll be back next week to give more of our reaction to it and discuss all that goes on across the league. So, yeah, that's it for us today. Appreciate all the love you guys have been showing us. Follow us online, IG and TikTok at section.300. Follow us on Twitter at section300sports. Subscribe to the podcast here and across all podcast streaming services. Appreciate all the love. And yeah, man, thank you for watching. Peace, man.
Deuces.
Easy as that.